Hey, g'day everybody, it's Tom Freer here again for another episode of the AskTomTech show. And this week I'm going to be talking about spam. So this week we're going to talk about spam. We get lots of questions about how to reduce spam, and we're not talking about the spam in the supermarket. We're talking about spam that you get on your email. It's been happening forever. Ever since email came about, you've been getting spam, which is the junk mail you receive that you didn't ask for. So it might be a rich Nigerian want to offer you money, or it might be a link to some inappropriate sites and things like that, but we're seeing massive amounts of spam coming through email systems. Now, the challenge with spam is that a lot of that is actually targeted at trying to trick you into doing something that you shouldn't be doing. So it's either going to have a virus attached to it, or it might have a link to a website trying to get you to enter in your bank details or your office email passwords, things like that. So the spam itself, whilst there is a lot of junk and the Viagra pills and all sorts of stuff in there, there's a lot of malicious activity that can go on with spam as well. So how do you stop it? It requires an element of technology in there to stop. So the likes of Gmail and Office 365 do have some built-in capability to try and detect what is spam and what isn't spam, and that then drops into your junk mail folder in Outlook effectively. However, it's not always effective, and it's not always going to pick up legitimate mail. And more so than not, you'll probably find that some real mail gets stuck in your junk folder as well, not just the rubbish. And look, that is a challenge, because you'll be looking for that email in your inbox, and the next thing you know, you can't find it, and there it is, it's in junk, buried in 100 different other emails that are all rubbish. So what you've got to look at doing is implementing some technology that sits in front of your email system. Now, whether you've got email in Office 365, whether it's in Gmail, or whether it's actually in your own office on your own server, you want to be stopping that mail getting into your mail system in the first place. That's the best place to do it. Now, there's lots of different ways to do that, but we recommend working with providers who sit in front of those mail servers, and that's all they do. Is their whole focus is on stopping spam and phishing attacks and viruses and email. So they're writing their systems and their algorithms and their signature files to stop that as it comes out. And we're seeing that become really, really effective in preventing phishing attacks within email, but also just getting rid of the junk, the porn and the Viagra and all that sort of stuff out of your email, with some really good accuracy as well. So what these systems do is, before an email, so when email goes, let's go back a little bit. When you send an email, your email system, your server, so to speak, communicates with another email server. So you've got your server, whether it's your in the office server or your hosted server or your Office or 365 or Google, sits here. Now, it will send a message over to the recipient server over here. So, and again, that could be anywhere, Office 365, Google, whatever. So the email communication goes server to server. That's effectively how it works. There's a record inside your domain name that dictates where that mail goes, and that's how mail messages are delivered. Now, that's the high-level, non-technical explanation. So hopefully it gives you some context. But what we do with these spam filters is that we set it up so that the record in your domain name where email is sent to, known as an MX record, mail exchanger record, we change those so they point to a third-party provider. So what happens there is, every single email message that you receive, instead of coming directly to your email server, it now goes via this third party. And that third party will do all the processing on it. They'll check against their database of known spam. They'll check against known viruses. They'll even look at those sort of attacks that are coming out quickly, brandjacking and things like that. And they put records in there to stop that message actually getting through to your mail server. So what it means is that they're blocking that before it even gets to you. So the volume of email coming into your system will reduce, because we're weeding out all the rubbish before it even gets there. And the accuracy of the messages getting to you without there being spam in it is much higher as well. So that's the way it works. And then on the flip side, we'll also configure your systems to send out via that third-party relay. So we can put the record in your domain name as a trusted source, so people receiving mail will know that they're receiving it from a trusted location and won't mark your messages as spam either. And that becomes a challenge as well, is making sure that when you're sending a message out, it's not being marked as spam. And that just gets down to making sure your domain records are accurate, and you've got special records set up in there. To go back to the original question of how do we stop spam, there's no 100% sure way to stop spam, and there's no 100% sure way to make sure that valid messages aren't going to get blocked. But what we're seeing with really high levels of accuracy is third-party provider that we partner with. Particularly we use one for a number of our clients, for many of our clients actually, and have had really good success with it. We redirect all messages into there. They manage the clearing out of the spam and the rubbish and the nasty stuff. The clean mail is then delivered to your own mail system, which means you and your users get much less rubbish in your email, which means you can be focused on what you actually need to be doing rather than sifting through the countless number of messages that will come through being spam. So that's how you need to stop spam. You need to put it in, you need to make sure your email is going through a reputable third-party provider that focuses on spam and antivirus management before it gets to you, and then you will have a lot cleaner inbox and a lot less rubbish to go through on a daily basis. So look, I hope that gives you some information and insight on how to deal and manage with spam in your business. If you've got any comments or questions, just post them in the areas below. We'd love to hear from you. We'll get back to you soon. Cheers, thanks.